What's going on, everyone? So we got some huge potential news in regards to JJ Redick being announced as the Lakers' next head coach. This is per David Pingalore. He works for KTLA Sports. His sources say that JJ Redick being the next head coach, and the announcement is right around the corner. So my at NBA sources tell me tonight that JJ Redick is close to being named the Los Angeles Lakers' next head coach. He is clearly the leader, more than 80% chance he will be offered the job and he will accept the deal. We'll get through the NBA Finals first. So again, this is per David, who works for KTLA Sports. Now, look, JJ Redick, I don't think it's a shocker if he does get announced. I think that that's the most likely scenario. I mean, I've been saying for months that JJ Redick, I believe, is going into being the head coach. There's just so much smoke. There have been enough credible people that have said, no, he's going to be the head coach. Like the Lakers are enamored with him. They like him. Got the reports that he's potentially the next Pat Riley. Stephen A. Says LeBron wants JJ Redick, right? LeBron's talked about how he wants out of it. He doesn't want to be involved, but come on, there's no way that LeBron hasn't at least, given some form of input and at least been in the loop of conversation, right? Now, is he the be-all, end-all? Is he the one that's like, hey, no, probably not. But I would be shocked if LeBron just really is just chilling at home and wants nothing to do with the coaching job, right? JJ Redick being there, the podcast, all that stuff makes a world of sense. Now, it also makes sense that they have to wait till the NBA Finals is over because JJ Redick is contractually obligated to go through that. Now, that doesn't mean that the announcement can't come sooner, right? So we could get, in any day, we could get, while you're watching this video, for all we know, we could get the announcement that the Lakers are going to hire JJ Redick, that they are going to bring him in as the next head coach. Now, will it happen? I don't know. They might just, as a courtesy, wait till the end of the NBA Finals, but it could also get leaked, and you'll get the reports that like, as soon as the NBA Finals is over, JJ Redick will accept the contract of the Lakers job. It's just all signs point. The Lakers haven't hired anybody. There doesn't even seem to be any news that the Lakers are considering hiring anyone else, right? The Lakers are still doing interviews and stuff, but all those reports are for assistants, right? So to me, it's just like the longer we go without any type of word that somebody else might be in the running, then it makes the most sense that it's ultimately going to be JJ Redick. And so I fully believe, to me at this point, I would be pretty surprised if it's not JJ. I think that this is something that is just inevitable at this point. Kind of just feels like it's a matter of if, or it's a matter of when, not if, right? Just like when do we get the news? When do we get the announcement? Now you got somebody else that's coming out and going like, hey, this is happening and it's happening soon, right? I think it's a little odd, the 80%. Maybe that's just to kind of cover his tracks type thing, so if it doesn't happen, you could be like, oh, well, I only said it was 80%, right? I didn't say it was 100. I just said it was 80%. Maybe something crazy happened. But again, like you're getting the reports of Rajon Rondo, right? That he's being looked at as an assistant, right? You're getting all these assistant talks. Even Scott Brooks is another guy that's being linked to potentially being on the Lakers bench as an assistant. You're getting all of these assistant talks, and the Lakers are doing interviews with guys that they view as assistants, right? Why would you have interviews for assistants if you didn't already know who your head coach is going to be, right? Like you're going backwards at that point, right? Now, I believe that the Lakers, again, hire JJ Redick, and then I think that they're going to pick the coaching staff for JJ rather than letting JJ pick the coaching staff, because originally that was the plan with Darvin Ham. Originally, Darvin Ham was going to come in. They were going to get a veteran head coach that was going to come in and kind of just help kind of hold Darvin Ham's hand along the way, but Darvin Ham wanted to pick his own staff. Lakers said, okay, fine. And we saw the disaster that was Darvin Ham. Where I think this time it's like, hey, JJ Redick, we want to give you the job. We're looking at you for the job, but we're not going to let you pick your own staff. Like, I believe JJ has a say, right? I believe the Lakers and JJ are in communication. I mean, they already had an interview. They had like a long extended meeting, right? There's no way that they're not like communicating to a form back and forth, and they're just kind of keeping it hush hush right now. But I would be pretty sure, like, hey, what are you looking for, right? We could get you Sam Cassell or James Borrego. Who would you prefer? Right? And I'm sure he's like, give me Borrego. I like his philosophy. Or give me Cassell. I like his philosophy. Or like, hey, if you can get Rondo, then give me Cassell. If you're gonna go Scott Brooks, give me Borrego, right? Type thing. It's very possible that he's having some type of say in this matter, some type of just discussion and dialogue. But again, I lean back to all the noise that's going on, all the continuous reports, the Lakers still doing interviews, but for assistants, right? So if they already had, like, if the Lakers were planning on signing Borrego, right, or like Sam Cassell or whomever, then don't you think that would have been announced already? And that would make sense as to why they're looking for assistants now? Or is it more likely that, yes, it is JJ Redick, and they can't actually bring him on until after the NBA Finals? In the meantime, they can put everything else together. In the meantime, they can go get the assistants. They can go get the coaching staff. They can go get X, Y, and Z. Like, to me, that, I believe, is the most likely scenario. I just think that that's what is going to happen. I think we're going to get in the next, maybe 2 weeks tops, that like, hey, guess what? JJ Redick is the head coach, and everyone's going to have to pretend like they're surprised and shocked, and everyone's, oh, wow, I never saw that coming, right? And like JJ Redick's going to be like, wow, yeah, we just talked about it. Like, that's probably how it's going to go down. But to me, at the end of the day, look, I've talked about it. I like JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick as the head coach is fine, right? Are there some concerns? Of course, but there's concerns with everybody who's available in a candidate right now. None of these guys have a plethora of experience. I mean, if you're going strictly on just like experience, then, probably Scott Brooks, but nobody's like, oh yeah, Scott Brooks or Terry Stott. No one's like, oh, Terry Stott or JB Bickerstaff. No one's like, oh yeah, JB Bickerstaff. No, everyone's like kind of like, oh, those guys would be great as assistants. So it's like, okay, well then everyone else is basically an assistant. I mean, James Borrego has some coaching experience, but he's not like this, doesn't have like this plethora. I mean, he had the Charlotte year, which, to his credit, he looked good that year. But to me, what probably happens is they bring in JJ Redick, they bring in a Sam Cassell, or they bring in a Borrego, add a Scott Brooks, maybe bring back a Phil Handy and, a Rajon Rondo. And now you got this like super bench full of basketball minds and brains, and JJ Redick is leading the charge. It's kind of what I think. I think we're going to get like, you look at the 2020 roster that won an NBA championship. You had Frank Vogel, yes. But you also had, Lionel Hollins. You had Jason Kidd, right? You had Phil Handy, right? You had all these basketball minds, all these guys that, were head coaches and had experience in various areas and all brought different perspectives. And it was just this super bench. I think that that's what happens with the Lakers this go around. I think the Lakers bring in a JJ. I think he's the head coach. I think they bring in somebody, a former coach that has, experience. That also, if it does, like, let's say, you bring in Borrego, who the Lakers are actually interested in and pretty high on, right? Okay, you bring him in as the lead assistant. Now, if JJ doesn't work out, like, let's say it's just a total disaster, well, you can just let go of JJ Redick and then bring in and, promote James Borrego, and you're in good shape. Now you don't skip a beat. You're not worried about anything, right? You're not losing anything. I mean, from a organizational standpoint, you have to pay him, but outside of that, I mean, you're not, oh well, now who's our next head coach going to be? It's like, no, now you just stick with James Borrego. He becomes the new head coach. Just kind of bump everybody up, maybe get a new assistant, or if you have Scott Brooks on the bench, he moves up to be the lead assistant. Maybe Borrego in the next offseason adds a coach or two, but ultimately I think that's what'll happen. Is JJ's going to come in. I think they'll give him at least the first year, maybe two, to kind of see what does he look like, how good is he, and then after that they'll make a decision. But I don't think it'll be one of those things where they hire him and then 2 months into the season, if Lakers are bad, they're like, okay, let's fire him, unless he's just awful. Like if he's awful, and it's just like, yeah, this isn't working, or if he's like, I don't know if I can do this, let me step down, then I could see something along those lines. But I think we're going to get the announcement sooner or later. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's a matter of when, not if. And it's just, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, again, could be wrong. Been wrong before, right? It's very possible. Maybe the Lakers surprise everybody and hire somebody else. But all you keep hearing is it's JJ Redick's job. It's JJ Redick's job. It's JJ Redick's job. I just don't see, because it's not just like these random people, right? Like even David, you could look at and go, KTLA Sports, like, how plugged in is he? You could question, because it's not a Woj, not a Shams, nothing like that. But like, lot of credible people. This is just another guy that is throwing out the same narrative that all these others have. I just think it's going to happen. But anyway, again, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you not? Do you look at it and go, not what I want? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next